college basketball game. We have a lot of respect for this program. The way they play the game, how competitive they are, the quality of players and coaching. And so this was a big game for our team. And we hated that it came down to the play that it did. I wish we could have separated earlier when we had a nice lead, but these guys stayed the course. I do feel like both teams probably deserve to win. But what a college basketball game. This league has been, man, I would not want to have a pacemaker watching American Conference basketball this year. It seems like every game has been like this, but it's exciting. Great environment. It was a great environment. This guy to my left made huge plays. He showed great leadership on the court. I thought he turned down a couple good looks to get great looks, and we started to resemble the best version of ourselves at times tonight. And we got to get back and fix a few things, but a very, very good win for our program.
You pretty effect. So
to be honest, I was trying to get a quick scan of the floor, the time, all the stuff that I needed to be worried about. So I actually took my eye off of the play. I asked one of the assistants, I said, was it definitely a foul? And he said, yes. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with our last game versus Charlotte. We fouled an 18-footer with 1.7 seconds. So I'll just say that, we didn't like that call. I'm sure Tulane didn't like this call. And so, but it is what it is. And I'm sure we're going to have some more battles with Tulane going forward, because it's a really good basketball team. The only thing that as a staff, we were a little bit disappointed. They've started pressing, and we have a lot of confidence in our guys. If they can break a press with 3-on-2s, 4-on-2s, 3-on-1s, and we love the looks that we got. That wasn't our issue. We want to stay aggressive. We have a fearless approach. We feel like if you pull it out, now you're playing light clock, you're on your heels. The one thing we didn't do well, though, was our rebounding lanes. It's just like the defensive end in football, and I'm not a football guy at all. But if you blitz the quarterback and you end up behind them, something bad usually happens. Correct? You guys are sports writers, and we were behind the play a lot. Those rebounds were coming long. We had a couple in our hands, and they took them away from us. So our rebounding responsibilities weren't as disciplined as they needed to be. But I'm pretty certain when I look at the film, when we look at the film as a staff, we're going to like all of those shots. And that's typically why we have such great spurtability, that we don't try to pull it out and run out the clock. And tonight it almost burned us. We feel like over the years, it's helped us much more frequently than it's hurt us.
On the foul at the end of the game, we're technicality, right? Jump ball goes to Florida Atlantic. No time comes off the clock when Tulane fouls again.
Yeah.
So when the jump ball, when the Tulane fouls, when the second jump ball comes, it's still Florida Atlantic's ball. Did you guys talk through that scenario? Was that? Yes.
Chuck came over and said, this is an odd situation. There was a foul called before the jump ball. You maintained the arrow. I said, man, that's great. That's great. Because in that situation, they don't want to call a foul. I thought there's a lot of contact on Nick's drive. I thought there's a lot of contact on Nelly's drive. They want it to be a definitive play to win the game, just like I do when I'm watching games at home. And so, yes, we knew that's a possibility, and it's one of those things. There's a lot of randomness. You can call it luck, you can call it whatever you want. There's a lot of randomness for winning and losing, and that randomness on the last play favored us. Well, their size and strength and versatility. They have great size and skill at every position across the board. They do a really good job of taking advantage of matchups. They find a hot hand. You guys saw when Forbes got going, they were all finding ways to get him the ball and playing through him. And that's not always the case. That's a team that knows how to win. And when you look at their numbers, it's daunting because they all average between 13 and 16 or 12 and a half and 16 or whatever the case. So it's a challenge whenever you can't focus more on one guy or another. And then one guy gets going and just like Nick got going and our guys were looking for him. So that's a sign of a team that's more about winning in the team than they are about individual success or personal ambition.
So obviously you guys tend to win, and did that again. The offensive rebounds. So they had 2 offensive rebounds to set up. The decisive.
The second one, I believe, was the jump ball, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Nick missed, Nelly got the rebound. Is that how it played out?
And then another rebound to Elijah.
And another rebound to Elijah. So there were a couple in the last minute. It's a blur. Those possessions kind of run together now. There's a lot of different things running through all of our minds in that situation. But yes, it was the 50-50 basketballs. We're obviously not as tall or as we don't have the size that a lot of teams have. And we've always prided ourselves on being a little quicker to the ball, a little more physical, being the first to hit, being the hammer versus the nail. And it cost us the Charlotte game where they were much more aggressive to 50-50 basketballs and credit to our guys, just like they always do, because they have substance and character. They fix the things that need to be fixed. And there's some things that are going to need to be fixed from this game. And that's why we have a special group, because they're going to be committed to correcting the things we need to correct going forward.
It's very big. I feel like the last couple of weeks we kind of took our foot off the gas in terms of just holding each other accountable and just really understanding that we have a target on our back no matter where we go or who we play. So I mean, to beat a good Tulane team on the road in a hostile environment at the end, definitely a step in the right direction.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Couple Zoom questions.
Oh, Lisa.
Dusty?
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, was when you got to a tremendous start. I think through like 5 minutes, you had as many assists as you had the entire Charlotte game, and the ball was really moving. What happened specifically after that first timeout that they took?
From my perspective, I felt like we got into some personal battles and we tried to go back at the guy that maybe went at us, and we just lost our flow. But also we missed a couple shots that I thought like we had great looks. And when the ball doesn't go in on a great play, you don't get an assist. And when the ball goes in on a great play, you get the assist. So I think Nick had 3 of the first 3 threes in the first 5 minutes, and 2 of them went in. And then the last one didn't. They were all great looks. They were all really good basketball plays by his teammates. And so therefore, when the third one doesn't go in, the rate doesn't keep up. And all we're consumed with is playing really good, unselfish basketball. And usually the assists and all those things just kind of work themselves out. The one number that I look at every single possession, every single game when I come in is the number of shots. And tonight we were able to get essentially, in my mind, 9 more attempts than Tulane. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that, if you can get 9 more attempts than Tulane, you're giving yourself a chance to win, because if they got 9 more possessions, we're going to score several more points, because they're really, really good, talented, and their plans and schemes are effective.
Hold on for a second. There's an in-person question.
Oh, yes. So Nick, Tyler, we're hot. Needed every one. Could you just give me a sense of how you got that flow in the second half? It's big for you, 4-point play and so forth.
I mean, I feel like it's important just to take what the game gives you. In the first half, I had a couple open looks, that my teammates created for me, and I made them, so I was feeling good. And I just try to stay within the game and, create for my teammates as well. But I was open, and I was able to make a good, big-time shots.
3 more questions.
Hey, Nick, congrats on a great game, 21 points, career high, 6 3-pointers. How does it feel to be returning to the form that you had prior to the injury you had earlier this season?
It feels good. I mean, obviously, I work hard every single day with my team, by myself in the gym. And, I mean, I feel like when I was going through what I was going through in terms of the injury, my energy kind of dropped, and I was really consumed about myself. And I feel like right before that Charlotte game, I had a good conversation with one of the coaches that was here prior. And he said, man, like you just look different out there. Your energy is not the same. And I feel like that's the difference in the team. And that Charlotte game, I decided no matter what happened, no matter how many minutes I played, I was just gonna have positive energy. And I mean, I went out there and I had a better game than I had prior. And I just want to continue to doing that. And I mean, when you think less about yourself, good things tend to happen.
And coach, you guys crashed the glass a lot, winning the rebounding battle 42-33, most particularly 18-8 in offensive rebounds for 22 second chance points. How do you feel about that aspect of the game and Yaos being successful?
Well, we knew going into it that we had to offensive rebound or shoot exceptionally to have a chance to win this game. And so once again, these guys knew what they needed to do from an effort and physicality standpoint, and they do it. They're winners, and winners, they're competitors. So let's say that competitors usually figure out a way to be successful and to win, and that's what this group is. I mean, the competitors find a way to get the outcome that they desire.
Hey, Coach, Shane here from Channel 25. Congrats on the win. Can you hear me
Thank
good?
you. Yes, we can hear great. Thanks.
Okay. Just real quick, now that you're a couple games into the conference schedule, a win like this, a close win, do you feel like the team now is kind of getting a chance to see exactly what it's going to be like night in, night out in this conference, and getting battle tested to towards the conference tournament at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think we're definitely feeling how challenging it's going to be. And thank goodness we have guys that love challenges and to compete. One of the things, we loved our schedule, and we did what we felt like was the best thing for our players, our program, our university to do. But the downside was we weren't battle tested on the road in early season. And therefore we did really well on neutral sites, and we did really well at home, but we hadn't felt the energy against us on the road like we have the last couple games. So once again, I'm a big believer, and you have to go through things and you have to feel some things, and then if you don't have your best stuff, then you can still figure out a way to win when you match that or surpass that. And we're gonna have games when we play much better, but I was proud of our guys' just ability to find a way.
And real quick, Nick, we saw a little bit of your confidence come back tonight in some of the way that you were shooting the ball. Looked like a little bit like the run last year in the Final Four. How much does a game like this do for your confidence, knowing that the team is going to need that confidence down the stretch?
I mean, I say my confidence was definitely shaken. But like I said earlier, I just think it just depends on the team. Just giving the team energy and juice is what I do. And I feel like that defines my role on this team, being a leader. And I feel like, I mean, if I'm open, I'm gonna shoot it no matter what. And if it feels good, it's probably gonna go in. So
appreciate it.
Genesis, I have one more quick question for each of the guys, if I may, please. First of all, Nick, did you say anything to Elijah before he stepped to the line, or anybody in the huddle?
Yeah, I said, what better way to do it? Right in front of your family, right in front of your hometown. Not really his hometown, but just in his backyard. Kind of smiled and just told him, man, we only need one. You got three opportunities. You can miss all of them. Just make one.
Thanks. And Dusty, you talked about the randomness of the game. Did you get any kind of explanation at the end of the first half after Weatherspoon's rebound basket on the 1-on-1?
Yeah, I laughingly told Doug Schaus, the official, that thank goodness there was one player out of 10 paying attention, because he signaled 1-on-1. It was a 1-on-1 situation, and it's I laugh because we're in the same position at Disney, and we all need to go, but we're at Disney, and there was an error of the same magnitude, and Vlad grabbed it, and instead of laying it in or dunking it, he just kind of turned around and walked with the ball. And the official came over and said there was no violation, there was no whistle. He could have just laid it in or dunked it, but he traveled, so I had to call it. So I had a flashback of that moment, and I was just very, very happy that when Spoon grabbed the rebound, at least one out of those 10 players was aware that it was a 1-on-1. Because once again, it was a one-possession game. That basket meant something.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.